Go.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the instructional video by BP Media and E2 Total Solutions. We have a very special presentation Boyd has presented for us today. What's it called, Boyd?
How to improve your video strategy.
Okay, so I'm sure that he's going to be talking about YouTube, tons and tons about YouTube.
We're going to talk about lots of different things, actually, but YouTube's
okay,
one of them.
I was going to say YouTube and, you know, the value of posting stuff for SEO on your website and all that stuff. But anyway, Boyd is starting to share his screen.
I am.
So we must be ready to roll. Let's do it.
All right. Well, you know, this is going to actually be part 1 of 2. Next week, I'll be talking about it again. But today, I'm going to be talking about creating videos and the different types of videos you can create. And this is kind of an update from one I did a few months ago. Excuse me. Because there's some new things that are going on in video. And I wanted to share that with you as well. But this week, we're going to be talking about creating video and the types of videos you can make and how to implement them on your social media. The next week, I'm going to be talking specifically about YouTube and how to optimize videos on YouTube so they'll actually bring your SEO for your website or wherever you're sending it up. And that's a really cool thing to do because like this week or last week on Wednesday, I posted a video for one of my clients. On Thursday, it was on the 4th position of the first page and bringing them lots and lots of traffic. And they were going, wow, that's impressive. So we're going to be talking about that because there's several steps to go through for that YouTube program to work just right for SEO on Google or any of the other ones that are out there that are. So we're going to talk today about how to improve your video strategy. We're going to talk about that strategy. So now, one of the things that I do a lot of times is I talk about how do you get and maintain engagement? And I'm going to talk a bit about that for just a minute. This is important because a lot of people don't understand that engagement is what social media is all about. And you've got to have engagement or it's not going to work as well for you. Now, of course, the number one is the video views. Now, there are other things, and we're going to talk about them in just a moment, but video views are one of the hottest things you can do. And you should, if you've got a good video being presented, and you've got good people who are following you on, it doesn't matter whether it's Instagram or Facebook or any of the other social media sites. Sorry, I've got a frog in the back of my throat.
You okay, Boyd?
Yeah, I am. I just need to take a drink.
Okay.
So anyway, video views are really important. And it's one of the 4 big matrices that you need to be paying attention to is how many people are viewing your videos. The next one is how many likes are you getting? And that's whether it's on videos or on static images. And it's interesting, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, but I'm going to talk about it now. When you are on, let's say on, let's use Instagram as an example. If you have a video and you have 1,000 people on there that are following you, you should have somewhere around 150 people who are viewing your videos or more. Likes, you're only going to get, if it's a video, you'll get pretty good likes, but if it's an image, you'll probably only get about, so 150 for video views. Likes, you might get 25. Okay, that means you're really engaged if you're getting 25. Okay, the next one is comments. Comments, you might get 10. Now, especially if it's got videos on it, that's great. You'll get more comments when you have videos, and that's important. Now, hopefully on that, you'll also get shares, and you can get, and most of the social media does shares and comments and likes. Okay, and then the fourth big one is traffic driven to your website. And so you've got to make sure you're getting the traffic to your website. If it's not, you're going to have problems. But any of these that I have the asterisk on, those are the ones that tell you how good you're getting engagement. Because if you're getting traffic to your website, you're getting good video views, you're getting good likes and good comments, all the rest falls back. And so even though saves are important on Instagram and some others, getting direct messages is great on Facebook or Instagram or any of the others. Then, of course, one of the other things that'll help you get engagement is using branded hashtags. But those first four are the ones that are the most important. Now, I tell you this because we're going to go into the videos, and the videos will help bring up your likes, your comments, and traffic driven to your website. And then again, next week, we're going to get even more traffic driven to your website when we focus on YouTube, specifically of how to optimize it. So let's talk about the different types of video you can use on social media. The first one I'm going to talk about is live video. Now, live video is available on a lot of different platforms now: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. There are several others, and those are great. But let me give you a clue as to how to use live video. I had somebody who just simply says, "Oh, I do a live video every week." And I said, "Well, how many people do you have that follow that?" "Not very many anymore." And I said, "Did you have a lot at first?" "Yes." And I said, "What did you do to start it?" He says, "Oh, we had our grand opening. And then we had so many good people that were watching it, we just decided once a week we would do a live video." And I said, "How many people are watching it right now?" And now this has been 3 months since his first one. He says, "I think we had one, and it might have been my mom." I said, live video is very important to use the right way, or people will ignore you. So you've got to know when to use live video. Live video is great. A grand opening, perfect. You're going to introduce a new product, great. You've got a special person coming to your location or is going to speak to your friends or whatever it might be, that is perfect as well. We had a person who had a person from the Real team come to his sports store. Actually, it wasn't sports, it was a comic store. And so they did a live video, and it did very, very well because one, you've pulled somebody from a professional team, but two, he was talking about how he loves these types of comics that they were going to be talking about that day. Those are important things. You can also do a live video for events that you have, but make sure that they're events that are going to be interesting. We were invited to do a live video, but we couldn't do it for this guy. And he is somebody who does artwork. And so he had 3 other artists with him, and it would have been a great one to do a walkthrough and talk to each of the artists before the show actually opened, or even as it opened, and do it. So a live video can be really good for that. But make sure it's tied to an event, something that's going to draw people in. And trust me, just doing it every week is not a good reason to do it. And you've got to have something different every week. So utilize live video. And now here's a key element though. If you're going to do a live video and you can schedule it in advance, do so. If you schedule on YouTube or Facebook, if you schedule it more than 24 hours in advance, then every time somebody logs into Facebook or YouTube that's following you, they're going to tell them that you're going to have a live video soon, and it'll tell them when and how to access it and everything like that. But they will also, when somebody is searching for something that has a keyword that goes along with your live video, it'll tell them about it. Oh, there's going to be a live video for this company that talks about this specific thing you're looking for, especially on YouTube. That's important. Facebook, so-so. YouTube, extremely important. And it helps because it will drive traffic for your live video. we had a book signing one time, and the book signing did really well. It's during COVID, so they had the author out on the sidewalk. This was a little warmer weather than we're having right now. He was out on the sidewalk and he was signing books, and they had a person from the store about 2 or 3 cars down selling people the books if they didn't have them already. And then so they would sell him the book, come and get the book, and then bring it to him. Then all he had to do was when they pulled up, he'd just have your name, and he would sign the book and talk to him for a little bit. And the video worked really well because he got to interact with some of these people, and it was fun to hear what their questions were. And they had, I don't know, 80, 90 people that were on that, on the live video, because it was this author at this bookstore, and it worked out really well. So think of live video when it's the right thing, but just don't put it up there just to be doing a live video. You'll lose people from ever wanting to engage with it in the future. I'm going to take a drink here real quick. The next one is stories. Now, stories we've had for a little bit. It started with Instagram. It was their they were competing against Snapchat, and Snapchat was using these size of videos. And so stories started with that. And it started out really good, and it's been doing very good. There's a few things to it. It is a vertical format rather than a horizontal format like live video is, although you can run live video either horizontal or vertical. With stories, they're only going to be vertical. They're great for flash sales because they go to everyone that's already your customer, or your followers, and but it only stays up for 24 hours. They're 30 seconds long, although if you notice in here, there's a little mark right here, and right here. Those mean that they have put 4 of these videos together. So when you do a 30-second video, you can stitch together multiple videos to tell the whole message that you're trying to do. These have been great. They need to have some fun things going on. Although, if you notice the other one, over the counter cafe, it has 2 videos in it. The first one is for a breakfast, because they were just not doing very well for breakfast. Lunch had picked up a little bit, so they wanted to pick up and do hey, this is this week's special. And so they would do this every once a week. And it went out to their current customers, which they had got signed up on Instagram. Did really well for them. Their breakfast started picking up. Of course, if you like banana chocolate pancakes with Nutella and bananas and whipped cream, you're going to show up. Now, they didn't do the same one over and over. They did a different breakfast every week and showed that. The Nantucket Lighthouse School, they were struggling last year to get kids enrolled. And so they did this video showing, of course, the teacher with her mask on. The students have masks on, but you can't see them. But it shows how fun the fun that they were having with this. And it in the one day that they had this up, in 48 hours, they filled their school with students. And so this really took and did a great thing for them. Again, they already had their all the people that were had kids in it earlier or were interested. This was shown to them, and it was up for just 24 hours. And so it was great for them. So it's great. And you can, once you do a story, if it is something you want to make evergreen, you can save it to your profile in Instagram. You can also do some things with it on Facebook, and there's others that are starting to come out, and I'm going to talk about those in a few minutes that are similar to stories. And so I'll talk more about that in a minute. The next one I'm going to show you is Reels. Now, Reels is on Instagram and Facebook. They go to non-followers. They can be up to 2 minutes long, and they are really designed to go out and help draw people to your site. This is Dan Clark, who's a public speaker, and he does on Fridays, he does a thing called Funny Fridays. And so he tells a funny story that has happened to him, or he did it, whatever it might have been, and he tells the story, and he's received a lot of followers because of this. Now, he actually creates it in 2 formats. This is his vertical format, and he does it in a square format, so that when you go, if you're on his, you'll see the same one as a regular video on Instagram, rather than just the reel, which went to all those that are non-followers already. So he uses it in a way to draw people in. And then even once he's got them drawn in, he keeps posting it there as well. So it's a really good one to draw people to your Instagram account. Now, one thing I do recommend is you do need to put on there a message that says, subscribe to my, or follow my Instagram account, or follow my, and you know, this in the case of Facebook, follow my Facebook. If you don't put that on, we found that 50% of the people who would have put it on, would have done it, went on. And so you get twice as many people who will follow you if you put a message at the bottom to follow you. And that's an important message for your video there. Now, you don't need to do it on the stories, because there are already people who are following you. Okay, the next one up is actual videos. These are the horizontal format ones. You can put a horizontal one on Instagram, but the problem is, if you're playing it on a device like a phone, it will cut off the edges unless you've gone in and told it, shrink it to fit. And if you shrink it to fit, that means it's going to make that even smaller. And you can't rotate it and get it all back. It's not going to do that with Instagram. But on YouTube and Facebook, you can rotate your phone and it will then give you the full format instead. So, but videos are still extremely important. You can make videos as long as you need. Live videos are the same way. You can go as long as you'd like. I've seen some live videos that are in excess of 2 hours. I watch videos that are actual movies on YouTube, and they're 2, 3, 4 hours long. And so they don't have a time limit unless your YouTube account has a limit to it. And so understand that. And people love to see videos. In fact, on YouTube, they were talking about that every minute there is, I think it was 250 hours of content is put up every minute. And that's quite a bit. And you can find almost anything you want to know about in YouTube. Facebook is trying to compete with YouTube on this. And so they have now a way of, when you go into Facebook, one of the tabs at the bottom of your phone is to go to videos. And then it'll show you only videos that are up there. And they're cool. But you'll find a lot of content creation people are utilizing both YouTube and Facebook and putting the same videos on both. Not always. YouTube still owns that space for the most part, but for things like, watching America's Got Talent or The Voice or any of those kind of things, Facebook is starting to take that away from YouTube. It's still there at YouTube, but they're cutting out some of that market share. And so they want to do that. Now, we'll talk more about YouTube in a minute because there's some things we're going to talk about in it. In fact, right now, I'm going to talk to you about one of the new things that's going on, and that's YouTube Shorts. Now, TikTok's out there too. And a lot of people ask me, well, isn't TikTok bigger than some of these other social media sites? Yes and no. So I work with the top 8 social media sites that that have business or can get business for businesses. Now, TikTok, there are some businesses that it works for. And I have a couple of clients that I've worked with. I have a t-shirt shop that prints anything you want on your t-shirts and does that. He does really well with TikTok, although his number one is still Instagram, where he sells stuff. But TikTok has come up quite a bit. Revlon and some other makeup companies are now on TikTok. And there's other things that are on TikTok. In fact, I was talking to someone the other day and he said that his divorce attorney was on TikTok, and he does really well on TikTok. And I'm going, a divorce attorney on TikTok. I guess there's something funny about that. And so people are creating funny things about it. So TikTok works good for some things, but for a lot of businesses, it's still not there for grabbing attention. Now, YouTube Shorts is also along the same lines as TikTok, but YouTube Shorts is doing something a little different. You can actually purchase ads to go on the front of Shorts. And so between each of the things, you can see ads if there's one bought for that particular company or that video. Now, YouTube is doing a few things that are different. They're now paying some people when they get to very large views, they're paying them to be on YouTube. And one of the cool things is you get paid twice as much, from what I understand. I haven't done this myself. I've been told that if you are not on any of the other things like Reels or Stories or TikTok, you get twice as much in payment from YouTube when you put it on YouTube Shorts. So it's something to be pay attention to, because now it's something you can actually start making money from, is making these things. Like I have some people who have 150,000 followers on TikTok, but they've never had a single person come in. Well, here's a way that they can actually, if they've got that many followers, they can, if they get it on YouTube Shorts, they will get paid when they hit above 10,000 followers. So it's a really good thing for them. The key, though, is it must be entertaining or ultra personal. Now, I guess that's why the t-shirts and makeup and even the attorneys are doing well there, because it is ultra personal. TikTok is just not for businesses yet, but they're working on trying to figure out a way of doing that. Now, one of the things I also want to tell you is, well, anytime you use video format, which is horizontal format, so either live video that you want to have kept up on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, or if you're using regular horizontal format videos, you should do a video cover or thumbnail. And this is one that we did for Candy Graves. And she did a whole lot of videos, and so they all looked very much the same, and just the wording right here changed, and that's what she wanted. It was all about branding, and it did very well. If you don't put your own cover on it or thumbnail on it, they're going to choose one of the images that's in it, and they'll put it up automatically. And to be quite honest, I don't know how they do it, but almost every time when I leave it for them to do, my mouth is open, my eyes are closed. And that doesn't really suit me as well as I like. So anyway, that's one of the things I would recommend. Let's go on from here, and let's talk about YouTube. Shall we? Let's see here. I got to hit this button. There we go. YouTube. Should you be promoting yourself on YouTube? And let me tell you a couple of statistics. They are the second highest search engine. They are the third highest social media platform. So, of course, second highest search engine after Google, who owns them. the third highest social media platform after Facebook and Instagram, but it's right there with those two. And so it works really well. And if you're creating any videos at all, if you're doing more than 2 per month or 2 or more a month, then you really should be using YouTube. And once you go through the training next week, you're going to go, I need to be on YouTube more, because that's what we're going to talk about a lot more. And I'm going to give you some things that we're going to be talking about on that here in a moment. But YouTube is important. Now, here's a couple of the key things to understand. If you put something on YouTube, then put it onto your website, your SEO on your website will go up because it's on 2 of the Google products. Plus, it makes it so that the YouTube video plays much faster because it is on YouTube rather than any of the others that are out there. Now, a lot of the others are trying to catch up with that, but it's not happening as quickly. But Google has made it so that it really, really works fast for you. Now, there are a couple of other things that we'll be talking about next week, but is the main things we're going to talk about next week. Now, all 3 of these things are important. Keywords, they're just like the websites, but especially long tail keywords are really important. But a lot of keywords is great on this. Where on a website, sometimes having too many keywords will shut you down, or you'll stop getting as much traffic. With YouTube, they want as many keywords as is applicable to your video. And so you can add more keywords than what you can on a website. And then once you put that video on the website, it makes that website understand that it has all these keywords that are associated with it, and Google will reward you accordingly. The thing that you do with those keywords is then you start utilizing those in your title and description. Again, that's what we're going to be talking about next week. So do you have any questions on using video? We're at half an hour right now. I expected this would go a little longer than that. Oh, I do have a couple more things I wanted to mention as well. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll be glad to answer those. One of the things I want to tell you is on social media, do not just put videos on there. I have one client who they were putting up 3 videos a week, and they were getting about 800 people out of 3,000 that were coming to, they were seeing the videos and they were responding to them, and they had great engagement from it. Well, they decided, well, maybe if we're getting with 3, maybe if we go to 5 videos a week, we'll even increase it more. So they went to 5 videos during the week, and it went down. And it dropped to less than 500 average instead of 800 average per video. And it kept going down. And when they hit about 260, that's when they called me and they said, Boyd, what did we do? What's going on? How can we correct it? The thing is you want to have, if you're on YouTube, you expect videos all the time. If you're on social media, they don't expect videos all the time. And if you do, you're going to overwhelm some of your clients. So by having it 3 times a week was great, because they put static images of people in it, or of things, or a message, like quotes of the week. They had all kinds of other things, and they would put those in between the 3 videos.
Is there a magic number of videos versus stills that work on social media?
That's a good question. We've been testing that with a couple of my clients. 3 videos seem to be the absolute perfect amount of videos, and don't do them one after another day wise. Split them up. But one person, he's been putting 2 static images. So on Tuesday and Thursdays, putting a static image. I have others that are putting 5 or 6 or 7 static images, and it doesn't seem to make much of a difference. So it's 3 videos and then static images that go along with, and they don't even have to go along with the videos. They can be all kinds of other things. So like they're doing a giveaway right now on one of these sites, and the giveaway has, they introduced the giveaway with a video, and then they had a static image later that day and a static image the next day. One of the things is always put an image with your static image. Don't just simply, like you can on Facebook, put just words. Just words people are going right past. They're not even paying attention to 90% of the time. And that's huge. So put an image that goes along with it, something that'll disrupt them and engage them. And that's the key. We started with engagement. That's what the bottom line is for everything. It's all about engagement, getting more people to watch the videos, to like the videos, to share the videos, and to comment on the videos. And then ultimately to make it so that they will want to go to the website. Now, usually on social media, it's not in all cases. Some of them do have this. Most of them have. You want to look from the website side to see where people are coming from. Are they coming from, a specific social media site, or are they just simply typing in the name? And it's interesting to see how that works. So on the website, you want to have analytics to see where people are coming from. Now, if you're on some social media, like in the case of Instagram, you're only allowed one URL in there. And when you have that one URL, it will tell you how many people have gone to that URL. On Facebook, it doesn't give you as much analytics because you can have multiple URLs in the post and other things. They will tell you how many people went to your website from the main URL in your profile, but they don't tell you how many went to other URLs in, whether it be to your page where you have a blog, or to someone else's page that you are saying you ought to read this article by so-and-so, or any of those type of things. You're not going to get the analytics there that you would want. And they're working on some of that. I expect that they'll probably be doing it, but they want you to find out from your website who's coming to where and from whom, so that because there's some website or some social media sites that I've been told that we're seeing how many people came from this particular social media site on our website, but they're saying almost twice as many from the social media, but we're only getting half that on the website. So trust the website analytics before I would trust the analytics from the social media. Now, it might be that somebody clicked on it twice and your website only recognized it as a unique visitor, and that's something to be paying attention to. So any other questions?
I haven't seen any pop in.
Oh, I have one that just, should that be text or spoken? What do you mean? On the videos? Okay, so I'll let you answer that a little more. It looks like it's Eric again. On Reels, should the follow me be text or spoken? Oh, I see. Actually having if both is the best, but at least have like a button or a banner at the bottom of your video that says, follow me, click here to follow me. And so that's a good thing to do. Now you can put in there the text of that as well. I mean, the spoken version of it too. We found when we were doing that test a little bit ago that more people responded to the visual than they did to the spoken. But if you had both, it had a 10% higher rate of being of them following you. So spoken does help, but it's spoken on its own is not going to help you as much as having the image and being spoken. Okay. Any other questions out there? I don't see anything else right now, but I hope this helps. And then next week, we're going to be talking about more about YouTube, specifically how to get some things going with YouTube that can really help your SEO for your website and for your videos. And so we're going to talk about that next week. And so I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to stop sharing now, and we're going to finish up for the day. So thank you very much for attending. I hope this was a good one for you. You're welcome, Michael. I got a message from him saying thank you. So, okay. Well, thank you, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week. And be sure to come
Have a great day.
at 2:15.